Welcome to the writings of Patrick S. Smith.
Hello, all. I'm here with my wife, Kathy, and who happens to have the unfortunate job of being my primary beta reader. But she is an avid reader, and she's going to talk about a couple of the books or book series she's gone through. Just to update things, over on YouTube, released 2 more poems, Old Poems and The Blade. So be sure to check those out. The audio version of The Chaos of Me I'm still pending on Audible, but I'm hoping in the next week or 2 it should finally be available, so keep an eye out for that. Writing wise, Naming the Sears and the Stafford Building are both in editing, so trying to plow through those, especially the Stafford, so get it out. Have you read the Stafford yet?
I've started.
You've started. Okay. What you think so far?
So far, so good.
Okay, good. That's always a plus. Amber, I squeeze out a couple hundred words a week on it right now just because of work. But I did have a new idea for a story in my Death series. A Bargain with Death is the planned working title. So still storyboarding, still trying to figure out details on that.
I really like the Death series.
Yeah. Never thought that would take off. I just thought that was going to be a one-off, and then now I'm planning, getting ready for the 3rd volume to come out, the 3rd story, and working on 4 and 5 now. Possibly even 6 if the brain hits. Earlier this week I took my daughter up to her college for a little cookout, and on the way she was talking about Lake Lanier here in Georgia, and got a couple ideas for a possible story there, so we'll see how that one pans out. So, what books are you dying to talk about?
Well, I'm wanting to just throw out that one of my favorite authors is Nikita Parameter. I think I'm saying her name right. She is a contemporary and paranormal writer of reverse harem. If you don't know what reverse harem, you have your main female character, usually who's, as they like to put it, pretty much a badass. She has her own traumas. She has, her own insecurities and stuff like that. But she doesn't let life just plow her over. She might have some punches and knockovers from life, but she gets back up and she basically kicks it in the teeth. But as in reverse harem, she also has her main male characters, her harem, and they all help her in different aspects. One might be somebody she can talk to the best to. Another one might be the one who goes along with her crazy schemes. Another one might be the one that she enjoys just cooking and hanging out with. They all have different aspects that, besides being good for her, draw her and help her in whatever way she can. Now, one of the things with her books is that her harems usually are pretty big, meaning that anywhere between 5 to 8 men per female. So it's sometimes it's a lot to follow, because you kind of get lost in who's who. So, but I enjoy them a lot. It's one of those, most all of them in the harem are very alpha male characters. But the female characters stand up to those alpha males very well. For her series, like I said, they're contemporary, and also she has paranormal. Her contemporary series is her home series, which currently I think is 10 or 11 books. And slated, she's thinking it's probably going to get up to 20. She's got lots that she wants to write about on those. That's her Finding Home series, and the main female character there is Ever. The Guys series, it's complete. It had 4 books. And that is about how the guys were before Ever in the Finding My Home series comes back into their life. Broken Kings is about Jinx and her men, and it is in the same time frame, a little bit before Ever's story and the guys' story, but you do see some crossover in that. Now, her paranormal series are Lost Ones, which currently part 1 is complete on that. She's currently working on part 2. There believe is to be, I think, 3 in the part 2, and I don't know if she's going to be going into a part 3, but she says it's complete, but it might not be. And that's about Sage's story. And then there's the Black Onyx Academy, which is about Farron and her men. And in the Black Onyx series, Black Onyx Academy, it is not complete yet. There's supposed to be quite a few books on that one also. And Broken Ashes is about Neith and her men. The Lost Ones, Black Onyx, and Broken Ashes are all in the same paranormal world. You do hear their names come up in the stories, but there hasn't been much crossover yet. I'm thinking there's going to be, from what I've heard. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. I have gone back and reread each time a new book has come out. I have gone back and reread those series, and I don't get bored. I always find something that I missed the first time around or second time around or whatever. But I do enjoy her series. If you guys know of any other paranormal authors, not paranormal, well, paranormal and reverse harem authors, please comment, because I enjoy reading those. But I also enjoy reading regular paranormal, regular romance, things like that, thrillers, mysteries. But I like romance, so I like a happily ever after at the end. But if there's struggles in there, things like that, I'm good with. But if you have any suggestions, just let us know. Now, I do want to let you know, even though he is my husband, I do like his stories. His Seris's is fantasy, but it's not my necessarily cup of tea when it comes to fantasy. I do like fantasy, but it's just not my cup of tea. They're good stories. I enjoy them. But no offense, they're probably not ones I would go back and reread. But like I said, that's just me. But I'm also not one who would go back and read The Hobbit or, something like that. So they're similar worlds like that. At least that's the impression that I get. They're very similar in worlds. Not the same world, but similar in that. So I'm not necessarily, that's what I would pick. His poems are really good. I really enjoy those. Granted, a couple of them are about me and my kids, so I a little prejudiced on that one. But his Death series is one that I'm enjoying reading and beta reading for him. So I do enjoy that. So, but if you have any questions or comments, let us know.
And I'll link Nikita's website in the comments below. And just a couple things I've read lately. I did beta readings for other authors. One was these are in the short story, novelette, novella category. The Shadow That Follows by Gregory Fuller. Cosmic horror. I read it a few months ago, so I don't remember character names, but in essence, it was about a man whose whole life was ruled by a shadow that haunted him from his childhood. He actually made sure that his entire house was lit up. That's how, with soft light, because that's how scared of these shadows they are. Well, as an adult with children, the shadow remanifests, and he has to put the pieces of the puzzle together and how to banish it once and for all. So it was a good story. It had good bones. It needed work, but I would love to see a finished version of that out there. The other one, which is outside of a normal genre I would read, is The Girl with the Bloody Bear. And I say it's outside my genre genre I would read not because it's a psycho thriller or anything like that. It's I want to say the main character, she was 10 or 12 and a serial killer, and the her stuffed bear talked to her and she would bathe the bear in the blood of her victims. But she only went after people she deemed as evil. So it was dark, it was grim, but it was still, because you got into this girl's head, I found it entertaining. And that was by Alyssa Reed. But I would, like I said, both of them, I'd like to see finished products of them out there. So keep an eye out. I didn't find any author websites for them. So if you happen to know them, or reach out to them and give them a little prod, finish it up, and get them out there, because like I said, they were good. And I would say both of these, based on the version I read, these were easy 3 out of 5 stars. Like I said, both of them good bones. It could be improved. Nikita's books, how would you rate them?
Oh, that's easy. That'd be either 4 or 5 stars. Some of them I wouldn't give 5 stars because they end on cliffhangers. Hate cliffhangers, but it just made me want to read the next book. But definitely 4 to 4.5, 5 stars, all of them. They are, like I said, they're my go-to when I can't think of find anything I really want to read. So I reread these a lot. And I guess also comment if you would like us to talk about other writers or other books.
All right, well, that's it for this. I hope you enjoyed hearing my wife talk about one author that she likes, and we'll do this again sometime. So, everyone, take care. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. You can find more of my books on Amazon.com. Also, you can find more of my stories and poems at patricssmithauthor.wordpress.com. The links are in the description. Thank you.